In this episode, I face the biggest challenge of the series.
She started showing signs and symptoms of someone with dementia.
And I, Preston Lim, a digital native, computer scientist, champion of all things technological, find myself completely, utterly stumped. Because my client this week is a 76-year-old grandmother who prefers things the old-fashioned way. Honestly, I think I'm in a bit of a pickle, because for once, I'm not sure where to even begin looking for tech solutions. I'm Preston Lim, and I'm a computer scientist. These days, I build programs to help government agencies run like well-oiled machines. But I also spent years studying bioengineering, exploring how technology can be applied to meet challenges in biology, health, and medicine. Hey Tammy, record a video.
Okay.
$4 trillion is spent worldwide on technology every year to supercharge our lives. And in this series, I find out if the machines and programs that have changed my life are also improving the lives of those with special needs.
I can feel the grip, yeah.
I'll be working with engineers, scientists, and companies.
You just need to tap on this.
Do you need to go to the toilet, love?
We can create some kind of scenes to encourage him to go to sleep on time.
To find out if more can be done.
Around 2015, she started showing signs and symptoms of someone with dementia.
Like very forgetting things, looping the same story over and over again, looping something that happened a very long time ago, but then making it sound like very recent.
Yes. Once she said my brother called her to scold her. Then I was thinking, I'm very sure my brother wouldn't scold her. So I called my brother and my brother said, no, I was working. I didn't call her at all. The dining table used to be my personal space. So when I'm doing my reading, nobody disturbs me. So when my mom stayed with me, she will definitely sit next to me. She will ask random questions like, what day is it today? And sometimes I do get very frustrated when the same question is repeated a few times. This is how it's like, yeah, at home, you know, so imagine.
Very random one.
Yeah.
Madam Koo was diagnosed with dementia at the age of 70. It was life-altering. Once independent and capable of an active solo lifestyle, she could no longer live alone. Today, Lucy, her husband, her 4 sons and their helper take turns to care for Madam Koo.
My main worry is, besides her forgetting my name, the other one is more herself going down and then she falls down. Yeah. She had a fall recently when we went to KL in the toilet. She actually was giddy and then she fell off. Thankfully, it was a wall, and then she got stuck between the toilet bowl and the wall, and it took us about 15 minutes to get her up because her whole body was just stuck in that very awkward position. After the incident, I was very worried. At home, I think if she falls, we know. And there are a lot of handrails along, but because she likes to go downstairs, and she doesn't want to carry a stick. She don't want people to know that, you know, she needed that lah.
Falling isn't uncommon among dementia sufferers. Many of them report bouts of dizziness. As a result, Madam Koo isn't very active. The most she is able to do is to go downstairs to the void deck for an hour every day. Standing for too long gives her anxiety because she thinks she will fall. She lacks the confidence to stand on her own and spends most of the day sitting at the dining table, watching television or lying down.
It would be good if, let's say, I can track if she falls down. I mean, I heard of this technology in its infancy stage that can help. I would love to explore that too.
我这孙也是真乖啊！伊逐摆也出去行好，爱就打包互我食，我无现钱，讲不要紧。
咪我講嘅講緊一半咧。
伊会互我食，伊是真乖啊！
是。
哦。Okay, sit down, wait, sit down, can eat okay? Sit down.
Memory loss and mobility issues aside, Lucy and her family struggle to cope with Madame Khoo's unprovoked mood swings. She could go from happy to depressed or angry within minutes for no apparent reason. The unpredictability is unnerving. It's almost weekly that Lucy has to diffuse tensions at home because of Madame Khoo's mood swings.
You had a very busy day in the office and you come home and all you want to do is to just rest, and then you sit down and she start complaining about past events, you know. It's not recent, nothing happened, but it's just she suddenly recollect not so nice memories and then she will start talking and crying. I think those days is very, very frustrating.
Every week I think at least 1 or 2 times she will move out. Then after settle down already, she okay. Then a few weeks happy, then after that another few weeks something happen again, then she will, oh, I want to move out again. It's a cycle of move out, okay, happy, move out, happy, move out.
我的孙哦，种真正好啊，真正孝顺啊，我的婆。
Happened to chance upon this poem on dementia in 2016. I guess the person haven't got dementia yet, but it's like, just in case I get dementia, I've written a list of rules I would like to live by. If I get dementia, I'd like my family to hang this wish list up on the wall where I live. So if I get dementia, I want my friends and family to embrace my reality. If I think my spouse is still alive, or if I think we are visiting my parents for dinner, let me believe those things. I'll be much happier for it. Then if I get dementia, I think I can't read it, I'll cry.
If I get dementia, I don't want to be treated like a child. Talk to me like the adult that I am. If I get dementia and I become agitated, take the time to figure out what is bothering me. I may have trouble explaining what I need. If I get dementia, ask me to tell you a story from my past. Don't act frustrated if I mix up names, events, or places. It's not my fault. Don't feel guilty if you cannot care for me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's not your fault, and you have done your best. Find someone who can help you, and choose a great new place for me to live. If I get dementia, and I live in dementia care community, please visit me often. Don't exclude me from parties and family gatherings. If I get dementia, remember that I am still the person you know and love.
In Singapore, dementia affects 1 in 10 people above the age of 60. That translates to an estimated 82,000 people, a number set to rise to 100,000 by 2030. Globally, there's a new diagnosis every 3 seconds. Dementia is a condition that will cost more to care for than cancer and heart disease. In Singapore alone, $2.8 billion was spent on dementia care in 2015. No wonder it's one of the most feared parts of growing old.
Hi, are you Preston?
Hello, good morning.
Hi, I'm
Yes,
Lucy.
I'm Preston, nice to meet you.
This is my helper,
Nice to
Ding.
meet you.
Yeah.
Like the rest of the world, I think I know what dementia is.
Hi, Joanne.
Hello.
I'm about to get schooled. I'm pretty sure you recognize these by now. VR is one of the best ways to help people understand a condition they don't have.
of caregivers, even the professional caregivers, been telling us that I don't know what the person with dementia thinking about, what they are looking at.
The Alzheimer's Disease Association, or the ADA, is the first organization in Asia to offer this virtual reality experience to its visiting caregivers. I've brought Lucy and Ding, Madam Khoo's main caregivers, here to experience it for themselves.
What can you see now?
Enter VR.
Joanne has spent 5 years trying to bridge the experience gap between dementia sufferers and their embattled caregivers. Virtual reality became one of her tools only about a year ago. But since then, over 400 people have benefited from the VR experience.
Eddie is a person with dementia, and you will wake up in Eddie's room. The goal is to make your way through the house and get to the bathroom.
Oh, watch out.
Take your time, observe the environment, listen to what Eddie heard and the background noise as well.
Oh.
I didn't expect that there'll be sound. And there's this
Sizzling sound?
Yeah, that's right. Is it intentional or is it something that people with dementia do? Hear it? Or?
Yes, it's actually they are delusions. They are very sensitive to noise. For example, the certain volume to us is normal, but to them is considered as high pitch.
What does the wallpaper look like? The colors are weaving in and out.
That is dependent that which part of our brain is damaged. For example, the orbicitals behind is actually to manage our vision. So it could be this part that is damaged. As a result, they will feel very groggy.
This is a specific case where this person has both audio and visual hallucinations. Is that common for most early stage dementia patients?
It is very common.
I'm kind of curious, what were your expectations before you did this process?
I thought the experience was good because what we see will be on the outside, those that are more observable. But this one is something like getting to the world.
The VR experience has made me realize that I never really understood dementia. I always thought it was about losing your memory. But that's just the beginning. I don't just lose my ability to remember, I also lose my ability to think and to reason. My vision is affected too. Human faces and their expressions become unreadable to me, so I start eyeing others with suspicion. Normal sounds become distorted, and I start hallucinating and losing touch with reality. If technology can help us get this far in understanding dementia, there must be devices out there that can make caring for dementia patients easier. Lucy already has a digital lock, so forgetting keys is no longer a problem for Madam Khoo. The home is also monitored by a webcam, but it only offers a restricted view and can't be installed where privacy is needed. So it doesn't allay Lucy's fear of her mother falling and hurting herself if she's ever alone. I want to help them. I've learned that when it comes to helping folks with special needs, it's not about cutting-edge technologies. Rather, it's about applying existing technologies in ways that we perhaps may not have thought about before to meet their needs.
Auntie, 那你现在有没有用手提电话？
有啦，是那朋友几个很好的来联络。
So do you think she'll be receptive if we were to introduce any form of technology?
I guess if it's something that helps her or something that, well, we don't tell her that, oh, I'm introducing this technology, but if I show her something, if she finds it useful and it helps her, makes her happier, I guess she will like it.
We will have to think about technologies that are kind of maybe analog in nature, maybe not like app-based, right?
Yeah.
Something that's more closely physical, tangible.
Yeah, that's right. The touch and feel is very important. Right. Something that's not too difficult.
Wait a minute. I, Preston Lim, a digital native, computer scientist, and champion of all things technology, have to challenge myself to find solutions for someone who spent 90% of their life thinking that a 4x3 analog TV was cutting edge. Gah! The thing is, Madame Ku's tech needs are the most complex, ironically because they have to be the most simple. Honestly, I think I'm in a bit of a pickle. Madame Ku has dementia, a condition that is going to plague a large number of our elderly. Globally, the number of people living with dementia is currently estimated at 50 million, a number that will almost triple by 2050. Memory loss, reduced mobility, and mood swings are symptoms. We can't cure dementia, but we can help with these symptoms because they give caregivers the most difficulty on a daily basis. And I might know just the thing.
Ah! Ah! Did it work?
I think we got it, yes.
It might look like I've gone completely bonkers, but I swear, I'm doing legit research here. And no, it's not screaming at the top of your lungs to relieve stress that I'm on about.
So what we detected is your screaming sound. So I'll be able to recognize that sound and then trigger an alert and then allow you to verify it on the screen here. So let me just play back.
Ah!
So that's a screen that you screamed earlier.
That was not a pretty sound.
Yoki is the man behind SoundEye, a device that uses artificial intelligence to isolate and analyze sounds a person would make in an emergency, falling included.
When I started off SoundEye, so we collected a lot of data. We are going through every HDB units, ask elderly, talk to us. At the same time, hey, can you help us to screen for us to collect some data? So it takes a lot of effort.
It's paid off. And after training SoundEye on 2,000 hours of data over the past 4 years, it can be programmed to pick out target sounds like screams or groans, and completely ignore the rest, even amidst a cacophony. In this demo, SoundEye is built to make the lamp blink whenever someone coughs or screams.
Oh, cool.
SoundEye can be installed in many ways. The most popular? Hiding it in a ceiling light.
Inside the SoundEye, it consists of a microphone and a motion sensor. A motion sensor, in fact, is to detect whether the person is moving or not.
Right.
So the use of this is if you place this inside the washroom, for example. If a person is screaming, we can detect that. If she or he is not moving inside the washroom, we can detect that as well. In nursing home environment, because nurses is always loaded with a lot of work, so to monitor all the washrooms or the bed wards, having such a system to help them to verify and to monitor the safety of everyone, it just reduces a lot of time and effort.
Why did you choose to design it as a light?
We would like to make something that's hidden inside a daily appliance that people don't feel that they are being monitored. Light will be the best device because indoor, everywhere, kitchen, bedroom, washroom, there's always lights there.
Is the analysis of the sound conducted in this specific device, or is it actually in bigger servers elsewhere?
In order to protect everyone's privacy, whenever you hear something, it does not record. It just analyzes the sound wave directly on the sensor.
I am geeking out. This is one of the coolest applications of machine learning that I've seen in quite a while. I've never thought of using sound to detect emergencies.
So I guess I came here looking for a fall detection solution, but your product actually does so much more. If an elderly person has fallen, this could work, or if they have cut themselves, or if they're getting harassed, this would be really helpful for them.
Exactly. I guess sound is more or less pretty universal, regardless whether you're a Japanese or Singaporean. All this sounds the same in a way.
So Madame Ku has had falls in the past, and I was hoping to use something like this to help her. Do you think it will roll your technology out in HDB homes specifically?
It is a very big task to do that. To make it sustainable, I'm looking for welfare organizations to collaborate with each other.
SoundEye's potential applications are promising, but for now, it remains a work in progress. It still isn't ready to be deployed in people's homes, so I'll need to hunt for something else that can do the job of alerting Madame Ku's family if and when she falls. Or better yet, stop her from falling altogether. The answer is immediately obvious to me, albeit embarrassingly low-tech. Although it was once a fashionable accessory of the dashing dandy, the walking stick is now often seen as a symbol of shame for many seniors like Madame Koo. It's no surprise she chooses to wander around without one. But this has resulted in her falling 4 times since 2013. No matter how finely made, I too would loathe to use walking sticks like these when I grow old. It's unfortunately become synonymous with frailty and dependency. But what if, just what if, technology can turn the walking stick from a sign of dependency into a symbol of independence? This is Tandy Tuan. He helped build submarines for ST Marine in his 20s. And in his 30s, he became an engineer of marine propulsion systems at Rolls-Royce. But 3 years ago, in his 40s, Tuan decided to give it all up to answer the calling to propel design of a different kind.
The calling was to help the elderly. In a lot of elder care products, a lot of design are focused on the basic functionality of the product. It doesn't really look good. It's not something you want to buy as a gift. Product that I saw in the specialized shop focus on infant care. There's a lot of design element in that product range. So I was thinking, why isn't there this design element in the elder care market?
So in 2017, Tuan created Age Gracefully to turn the walking stick into a beautiful accessory with a myriad of functions to help with age-related problems such as bad eyesight and the risk of falling. A total package designed with the elderly in mind.
When you talk about technology, there is a few challenges. Number one is how do we convince the elderly to use a product, to bring it out, because they don't deem that this is really a handicap product. Yeah, we have to pace ourselves based on their user behavior. Make the user interface to be very simple so that the elderly can use it without much reading of a manual. Forgetfulness is a very common problem. One of the users who bought this walking stick from me, his father has got some dementia problem and he lost his walking stick every now and then. My walking stick comes with the radio feature, and because he likes to listen to a DJ everywhere he goes, whether he go to the toilet or he go to the coffee shop, right, he will not forget his walking stick anymore because of the radio feature.
I'm not totally convinced that this can help Madame Koo, but Tuan is confident. I suppose I should give him the benefit of the doubt, right? So I'm bringing him and a line of his most successful products to Madame Koo. This is Madame Koo.
Hi, Madame Koo.
And this is Daniel. Daniel is Madame Koo's grandson. So the reason why Daniel's here is he's one of the more tech-savvy of Lucy's children. So we're getting his help to convince Madame Koo to use a smart walking stick. Why did you design the cane to look like an umbrella? Was it practical or is it also because of other reasons?
You always have the impression that elderly, they are not that old, they don't need a walking stick. So there is a struggle between carrying one or the image that comes with it. So umbrella is a very natural way to camouflage a walking stick because in Singapore it rains all the time and it's quite normal to carry an umbrella. If they happen to walk and fall, there is this automatic alarm that will trigger because they are in a state of shock when they fall. And when that happens, they try to shout for help. They may not be able to project their voice. This kind of help them to get attention. If it really rains, you can remove the walking stick from the tip, take out the umbrella, just like the normal umbrella, and you can retrieve the walking stick from here and then reinsert back to the rubber tip so they can walk even in the rain. It's designed for 2 persons, so the caregiver or their helper can help them to carry the umbrella and they can rely on the walking stick itself. And because normally when it rains, it's a bit cloudy, they can turn on the light and they can turn on the flashing light so the other road user can see them as well.
Wow, okay. I thought it was a fake umbrella, but it turns out it's a real umbrella and a cane.
Indeed, indeed, indeed.
Okay, cool. I legit want one of these for myself now. It took Tuan 3 years to develop the smart cane. It's understandable, considering how it comes with tons of other bells and whistles. But this, guys, is my favorite feature of all time.
So this is the music. A lot of research about how music therapy helps to slow down the rate of dementia patient. With that in mind, we have incorporated an MP3 player and a radio inside this walking stick. So they can load their favorite music here and they can play the music and enjoy the music as they walk along.
With the smart cane going at $82 US, it's more costly than its traditional counterparts. But as these canes have slowly started retailing in polyclinics and hospitals, they've become increasingly popular. From selling small quantities, he now sells about a few hundred pieces a month. There are similar devices on offer in other countries. Some have voice navigation built into them to help the visually impaired get around.
站起来.
Okay.
Maybe Daniel, you could help.
So Daniel, do you think your grandma would want to use something like that?
要做哈。
要做. Honestly, I feel that she probably would like to try, but I'm not sure if she was willing to hold a cane around her. She takes a bit of pride in herself. She wants to be able to show that she's independent. So I feel that a cane would like bring her down a bit.
So I guess the job is on you today, Tuan, to convince Madam Koo to use that, right?
你早上如果天比较黑哈，你可以开灯。
开灯比较
看得到啊。然后如果你觉得你想听一点歌，你可以开这个音乐。
关起来。
It took a good 20 minutes to talk Madam Koo through the cane's features.
你觉得怎么样？
这比较方便。
比较方便。那明天早上你会用吗？
我去楼下拿这个，每个人坐那边看我拿雨伞，有没有下雨？你拿雨伞。
I kinda get it. Like many others her age, Madam Koo is reluctant to use an aid that signals frailty and dependency. She wasn't really sold on the idea, and Daniel is going to have to work on getting her to start using it.
每天用啊。
拿雨伞比较难啊，慢慢走，怕跌倒，要慢慢。我古早才在过睇下球。
阿姐好用不？啊，好用不？
好用，无好用我高行等你路楼卡夹一支。我去牛车水本夹一个啊，卡无啦，我就爱夹一个，我袂行。
Moving around better is visibly lifting her spirits, and I wonder if her mood swings have also eased. I'm clearly too optimistic. I've managed to reduce Madam Koo's risk of falling, but Lucy still has to face her mom's mood swings. Madam Koo isn't alone. Dementia is caused by the deterioration of brain tissue. When that happens, memory loss and hallucinations set in. Often, the frustration of forgetting, coupled with audio and visual distortions, cause stress and anxiety. And so, dementia sufferers are prone to mood swings. To stop the problem from getting out of hand, I need to figure out how to help Madam Koo slow down her memory loss. And the solution is closer to home than I expected. Samuel is Lucy's eldest son. He recently graduated with a diploma in psychological studies, and he was inspired to do a project about reminiscence therapy because he saw what his grandmother was going through.
I was in my internship actually printed out old pictures, probably things that happened in the time where the person with dementia remember a lot of their memories from probably from their youth or from their young adult days. So we printed stuff like pictures of Elvis Presley or famous food or things they wear in the past. So we laid out all the table for the caregiver to pick out things that they think their parents with dementia would remember and would think of. When they go back, they can actually take it up, talk about the pictures. Maybe their parents' favorite singer was Elvis Presley, and then they just pick up the picture and then they can say, oh, then they'll start talking about Elvis Presley, talk about how they used to listen in their school days, how they usually listen every day when they were at home. So this helps them to remember things that happened in their past, helps to boost their memory too.
Reminiscence therapy works by reviving long-lost happy memories for people with dementia. The science behind it is essentially about stimulating parts of the brain that handle long-term memory. It does that by invoking all our senses: sight, smell, taste, sound, and touch. Basically, it's about transporting people back to a happier time in their lives, so they exercise their brains and feel joy revisiting happy memories that reduce stress, agitation, and frustration. I hope it'll help ease Madame Khoo's mood swings. Samuel's Reminiscence Toolkit requires another person to interact with Madame Khoo, but that's not always practical, given that for most of the week, family members are either out at work or in school. There is, however, a device that might be able to get around that problem.
This book here is a reminiscence therapy book. The reason why I've asked you to pick a bunch of photos is that this book can actually associate photos with an audio message. For example, this one, and if we put it right here and recorded a message, when your mom uses this book, she can go back and hit the play button and she will hear a message that you or someone else has recorded for her and associate it with this specific memory. Hopefully this will be useful in helping her remember things from the past. So I'm guessing these are the ones that are the most significant?
Yeah.
Could you explain what they are?
My mom holding Samuel when he was like a month old. She dotes on him very much, and because he's my first child too. This other one is my second son, and those days my mom used to be a lot more mobile, so she would drop by my place, visit us very, very regularly. And this other photo is significant because it was our first dog.
Aww.
And until today, she still remembers the name.
Okay, cool. So maybe let's start by putting these photos inside here. Okay, let me turn this on. And then to record, you would have to hold the record button and this, and then speak to it.
To my mom?
Yes, to your mom.
Yeah, okay. Mother, 你知這個狗叫什麼名無?
Okay.
Mother, 你知這個狗叫什麼名無?
Do you think this will work for your mom?
I think it will, because sometimes she does look at the photos herself. Maybe she's thinking of the past. I'm quite excited to try this because then I'll maybe put some funny messages there, or maybe I can even ask her a question and see whether she can remember or not.
It sounds like photos are a huge part of Madame Khoo's routine already today.
Yeah.
So I guess this will be a simple technology that could facilitate that better. Testing 1, 2, 3, and then we'll hit the record button again and then play. Testing 1, 2, 3.
我一定看这，我看电视机啊，唱歌就是我上爱看的。
啊，你莫听我的声。啊，
甲你讲话就好了，我听你的声。
啊，我无伫厝，咱才听我的声。
啊，你无伫厝，我就困咯。
试一下吗？试一下。
来，马哥，你知道是几人无？哎，我的声。
这我的牧师咯。
啊。
What about yourself? What about the photo of you? This one.
Okay.
I think besides regular pictures of family and all that, I think it also we add in things that trigger happy memories. Her wedding day, or maybe her first child, or maybe it could even be how to get home from somewhere in case she wants to go out and then she forgets. Things that she will usually forget on a daily basis, it helps to remind her every day.
At least I do not have to sit here physically, and then when we go to work, when she's bored, something else for her to look at and to press and to hear some voices. 啊，这是算都是你的了啦，我无讲感谢。
感謝你啦。
感謝我，唔是我學的，這唔是我學的。
Seeing Madame Khoo's positive reaction makes me want to explore how far I can take reminiscence therapy, with the help of today's latest tech.
Oh.
Oh. So far, reminiscence therapy has brightened the mood in the Law household and staved off Madame Khoo's mood swings.
Mother, 你知道是幾人無？哎，我聲。
But I want to take it a step further. It's circa 1959 Singapore, and a young girl of about 25 is roaming the streets of Chinatown, taking in the sights and smells of street food on display. Street hawkers tout their wares, enticing her to venture nearer. That girl is Ku Chui Lai, or our Madame Ku, almost 5 decades ago, when she was a young girl eager to visit Chinatown on her days out. And knowing this is key to our tech-enabled trip down memory lane. Remember him? Eugene So runs a social enterprise making VR recreations of places that the disabled or infirmed wish they could see, but can never reach.
Okay, is it comfortable?
Yes.
Earlier in the series, he created a VR-scape for a wheelchair-bound boy whose work was on exhibition in Bali. And I think he's the man who can bring Madame Ku back to the one place she used to love, but can never visit again. The Chinatown of yore. Hello, Madame Ku, Lucy.
Oh, hi, Preston.
Hi. Hello, Madame Ku. 这位帅哥叫Eugene，他有
Hello.
还有一个惊喜要送给你。Think of it as reminiscence therapy, but on steroids. I hope it supercharges Madame Ku's reminiscence experience.
When we use reminiscence therapy for VR, it is immersing them in that space. So the effect would be times 10 because it's immersed. It's all around them versus looking at a picture or a video or looking at nostalgic objects from the past. 这样子看，你可以看到那些风景吗？
係啦，看得為之望望咪。
望望啊！
而家看就為之多咧。
哦。
啊，你先看咪？
自己呢？
這度較清。
So how has the reaction or reception been from these people?
They're just lost in that world and they are holding onto the headset, looking everywhere, very engaged. Sometimes they are not interested, they just want to sleep or do something else, so they would just, okay, they've seen it. So it works both ways. It might trigger good memories, it might trigger bad memories.
6车水到下午很多人啊，要走了走不进了。跟朋友去了，一直去玩了，在那边吃东西了。去食魚生粥，上出名的。食2個的魚生我做的。珍珠百貨這個我有去過，在裡面走了，去很多次了，跟朋友一起去。現在叫我走，我不會走了。
Lucy, have you heard your mom mention these things before?
The food we have, because we have been buying the porridge for her, but not about her shopping with her friends, looking at items. This is the first time I hear of. Yeah, that's right.
Then do you think this VR reminiscence therapy could be helpful?
I would think so, because it triggers off memories that she may not have shared with us before.
That looks like a fruitful trip down memory lane. But I'm not quite done yet, because research has shown that in dementia patients, the parts of the brain that stay intact are associated with music. Which is why I'm meeting Michelle Lee, who advocates harnessing music's positive effects on the mind. Michelle left a 4-decade career in strategic planning, publishing, and banking before starting I'm Soul Inc., a social enterprise that uses technology to enable everyone to make music for the benefit of their mind, body, and soul. It took her 6 years, working on the ground with groups from diverse backgrounds to get her program going. To date, she has worked with 250 healthcare and community organizations, schools, and corporations.
My dad, he had a stroke, so that sort of gave him a slurred speech and he couldn't really move, and he was only 55 at that time. And he was so emotionally distressed and angry and frustrated, he literally sort of gave up. And so he didn't want to exercise and all, and it just went down. And I saw this very vibrant man, a wither. So these features...
Today, Michelle is showing me Soundbeam. a touch-free device which uses ultrasonic sensors to translate body movement into music. You know when people play air guitar? Well, Soundbeam basically creates a beam that functions like an imaginary keyboard. You can play different notes based on how close or far you interact with the beam from its source.
That's so cool.
When I saw the technology, I realized that it is an enabler that would be able to help not just people with special needs to become musicians, but the application is a lot wider. And because I used to do strategic work, I created a program around it that would enable anyone, especially if they have no musical background.
Why specifically music?
Music has a natural healing ability. It actually releases chemicals in your brain, you know, oxytocin that makes you want to bond with people, dopamine, all these type of serotonin. And all these chemicals are released naturally, no drugs. And the neuroscience research shows that actually if you make music, that means you create music, you actually will boost the power of music on your brain. Like for people with dementia, if they forget everything, the last thing that they forget is music. It's in your primal brain. So it bypasses all the prefrontal lobe and everything. So you remember songs from long, long ago. So to be able to get back that lucidity, you find songs that resonate with them and then bring back that memory. And so when they are like engaging, they remember everything.
Do you have any critics and what do you say to them?
When we started and they said, so where is your medical evidence? I was like, if it's new, it has not been tried and therefore there is no medical research on it. The other thing is that because it's so much improvisation and all, you can't measure. But you know, slowly people are getting to the idea and that it is community music.
Yeah, it's social engagement through music, right?
Exactly. So once you have the social engagement, those things about loneliness, isolation, depression, it kind of goes away. When you start moving, I mean, you're exercising. They feel, oh, I can do this. So there is hope.
I'm really excited about Michelle's program, so I'm taking her to meet Madame Koo and her merry gang.
Hello, Madame Koo. Hi, Lucy. Hello.
Hi, 你好，我是 Michelle。Hi， 我是 Jessie。
I want to see if we can take Madame Koo up a few notches on the happiness meter.
很高兴啊！
很高兴哦。来，你跟我说啊，我们2个人弹，对吗？好 ，1, 2, 3。你知道这首歌吗？平安夜，我再来啊。
At first, it looked like the family was taking quite some time to warm up to Soundbeam. Uh-oh, it looks like I'm enjoying this way more than they are.
我再给你一个。
It went on until Michelle hit the right note.
那南风吹来清凉，那夜莺啼声几唱，月下的花朵如梦，只有那夜来香，吐露着芬芳。So, given what you've studied in school, do you foresee this to have a huge potential in the future?
I see a lot of potential in this. When I was in school, I think we tried to do music, but because like of the barriers, like they don't know how to play the piano, or even instruments are really hard. So we end up doing art therapy and all that. But if I had this in my school and we could bring it to all the other centers, I think it will work not just with elderly, but you know, people with special needs. And also a lot of potential in bringing communities together also, because she only watches TV at home. And even if she has all of this, it'll be different as compared to like the whole family doing it together.
夜来香，夜来香。
哇！唱这个歌我最喜欢的是这个歌，我每次都电视台和唱我都开。
She remembers the song. And I can already see how much livelier Madame Koo is getting. She's had more activity in this past hour than she's had in the last week.
And it's not just memory, right? It's mood as well, because it seems like she's in such good spirits now.
Actually, this week has been a down for her.
How so?
She's complaining about quite a few things, very unhappy. But today, like, total opposite. She's so happy right now.
The Soundbeam is an expensive piece of equipment. It retails at $3,500 US. But it's the programming and execution of the lessons that are truly priceless. The tech itself isn't groundbreaking, but the application of it has astounded me. As a computer scientist, I'm always coding new things and building new systems. But seeing this just reinforces that state-of-the-art circuitry and systems are nothing without heart. And some human innovation.